All right, we're back with Matthew Query again. Freedom Home Inspections. Hashtag look him up on Facebook. And we wanted to talk real quick about maintenance. We love to talk about maintenance because for our industry, someone puts a roof on, like it's a 30-year shingle. I don't have to think about my roof again for 30 years. And that's inaccurate. It's like buying a car. It's like, this car is going to last me 20 years. I don't change the oil, brakes, nothing. So we've talked a lot about how often and what to look for and what needs to be done. As an inspector, as somebody who's built for years and years and years, what are other things outside of the roof that need to be maintained to help you sell your house, to keep from getting flagged by an inspector, to prolong the life of things so you don't have to put a lot of money into your house on repairs? What are some...
A lot of it's just service stuff. One of the things that I see a lot is poorly cared for grout.
Like near
backsplash. Most people nowadays are building houses with fully tiled showers, floors, walls, but you have to take care of that. You actually have to seal it and reseal it and clean it and reseal it again. And I'd say every 6 to 12 months, depending on how much you use that area.
Really?
Yeah. When grout's porous, so when water gets behind it, it's going to chip out. It's going to get moldy and mildewy. You see that. You got to clean that. When I come as a home inspector, I'm going to note that the grout's starting to chip out, and that's just that's an easy fix for just taking care of your house.
And on the seller side, if you have an inspector come in like, note, hey, poorly maintained grout, that could throw up a red flag for more issues behind it, or the buyer could become very disturbed with that and be like, hey, you need to replace it all or whatever. So that's taken care of ahead of time.
Sometimes
saves time,
you see drywall damage on the outside of your shower pan, where water has come through, just because the silicone, if you have a door for your shower, that needs to be maintained. Cut it out and redo it. Put a new bead in there.
Or on the bottom of your tub if you got a tub unit.
Absolutely.
I used to see that a lot where the sealant along the bottom of the tub would come off and water's just going in there and the floor would get soft. What are some other things that people could look for?
So something that less people think about, but is equally important, is cleaning out your screens and your window tracks. So those things can actually get dirty, really dirty. And most windows, up until recently, I don't remember what the year was, but they changed it. There's you have a plastic strip at the bottom of the window frame, and there's a break in between the side and the bottom piece. That actually can let water back through. Nowadays they're fused together, but before they weren't. You get water in that window track, and you get dust and debris and everything build up. The little weep hole that's in the window track is actually going to get clogged. And I was just in a home a couple weeks ago actually that had that very problem, and all it was just clean the window track out. And people don't open up their windows much anymore, it seems like. So
every time it rains and you get a little bit of leaves and you get dead bugs and you get pollen from outside, we've serviced that a lot where we've gone into houses, the snap together frames, or they're screwed together instead of everything's welded now, like you said. And around every single window at the bottom there's water stains. You're like, oh, these windows needs to be replaced, blah blah blah. It's like, you just need to clean them. Or some of them are so bad that we couldn't get them cleaned out at that point, because that between the weep hole on the bottom and the inlets, there was just so much stuff. We couldn't get it out, so we had to actually seal it and create new weep holes, and it was but something like that. It was sheetrock damage that had to be repaired, that was paint that had to be repainted, and a little bit of maintenance would have handled that. Gutters are another thing we see all the time.
I'm sure. And dryer vents, they're putting a lot of dryer vents up on the roofs nowadays. So I'm sure from a roofing standpoint, what does a clogged or dirty dryer vent mean for you?
The number one thing we see with dryer vents is they leave the freaking cage on them. And if you don't know, the dryer vent, it's got a plastic flap over it, and there's a dome, so water can't hit that flap directly. Well, when the dryer turns on, the air pressure causes that flap to come up, everything get out, air pressure turns off, the flap closes. That way bugs and birds and whatever can't get on there. Well, for bathroom vents and stuff like that, there's a metal cage in the end of that into that cover just as a second layer of protection, which is great for bathroom vents.
Sure.
Because there's not a lot of hot air, it's not as much pressure, so even when it's blowing,
not debris.
Yeah. Even when it's blowing, critters can get in there. Where the dryer is coming out very hot, there's debris coming out. Critters don't typically go in like high pressure hot air. But if that screen's still there, that lint just builds up, and can fill that entire that cover with it, and then your dryer stops working, or something catches on fire.
Yeah.
So we see that a lot. That or flaps get stuck or broken, and it just backs up. Typically, if everything's working and the cage isn't there, then those dryer vents don't fail. But sometimes they're installed wrong, or somebody went crazy with the sealant and got some on that flap and it's stuck. Or so
the same way on the side of a house too, even though that may not be an area where you normally get, but I see the same thing in home inspection. Dryer vents, clean your dryer vents out. It's a fire hazard. That stuff gets caught in there, and not all of it is solid duct work. A lot of it is flexible duct, and then you're going to get stuff caught in there, even a lot easier.
In the ribs of it. Yeah,
absolutely. Great word. So learn something.
And gutters too. I can't tell you how many houses we've been on gutters that have never been cleaned. And so water always overflows the front, overflows the back some, it rots out the fascia, and then little trees and things start growing in the gutter, and it breaks the shingles, and then the water's just flowing right in your roof.
I'll take a picture of that all day long. Hey, there's a sapling growing in your gutters. These should be clean prior to closing.
Every 6 months at least is what we say. Just get up there and blow it out, or get gutter guards. But even with gutter guards, every 2 to 3 years you need to get up there and blow them off, just because some stuff will get stuck.
And gutter guards are something actually that I point out on an inspection, because there are different levels of gutter guard. You can buy the screen that you can put on. You can buy a plastic screen. You can buy the real expensive stuff where water's supposed to wick back. And not catch any debris, but somehow stuff still gets in there. So there's all sorts of different things you can look at. But you're right, you got to maintain that, even if you have a gutter guard.
So maintenance tips.
Absolutely. Tons of them.
You should do a blog on maintenance tips.
I should do a blog on maintenance tips.
Make an infographic.
I was thinking about that already, actually.
We'll share that. Keep an eye out for that. Follow him. Freedom Home Inspections on Facebook. We're going to link up your Facebook.
Awesome.
But if you have any questions about what we talked about, maintenance items, we talk about it a lot, but if you have questions on how to maintain stuff, we'll put Matthew to work on answering those. So appreciate you watching, and we'll do another one sometime soon.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching another episode of our Ask the Roofer video series. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, whichever way you prefer to see it. And if you have questions, we'd love to get your input, see what you want to learn about, and do our best to help explain those things to you.